welcome into this interview. We are the lycée of the high school of Esternel de Constant. Can you please present yourself for the people?
I'm Lina Kalcheva. I'm an animation director, and I'm here with my film Other Half.
Thank you. How much did the plastilin cost?
How much did it cost? I think because we painted the plasticine on top, we were actually able to reuse quite a lot of it. So I think we ended up buying 4 packs maybe, which is probably about £50. Other films that use plasticine use way more, but after every shot we would clean all the paint off, and then we were able to use it again because you cover up the dirt. So yeah, it was not too bad.
Yes. And have you an idea of how much did all this plastilin weight? Said?
No, I have no idea.
Yes.
But it was quite heavy to carry all the boxes at the same time.
How did you choose all the color for the characters and the decors?
Because I guess they're not human, it was a bit more free to decide what color suits the character the most. So for the main character, we tried all the colors, but yellow seemed the most innocent and more gender neutral also, which we wanted for all the characters. Then for Narcissus and Decors, it was quite easy as well, like cold and warm, because they contrast each other from one to the next. And then for the last Medusa, we wanted it to be very statuesque.
Yes.
We went with kind of grey and this like gold kind of grand dress thing. Yeah, for the character.
Yes. And so, why did you choose to make all the characters gender neutral?
Because I think, well, for me, I think because we are kind of dealing with relationship archetypes, we didn't want to like this person is narcissistic, this person is manipulative. Yes. We didn't want to be like, oh, this is a narcissistic man or a really manipulative woman, because I think it gets a different meaning when you do that. And more than that, I think that it's problems and relationships that everyone has, not just if you're in a relationship with a man or with a woman. I think everyone has experienced something like this, regardless of who they're with. So.
Yes. Did the film was autobiographical?
Not super specifically. It's not like my 3 big exes or something like that. But it was more conversations that I had with my writer and my producer, and actually the rest of my team, where we were kind of building on shared experiences with people and also people that we know. Did we have to understand that the main characters sort of have a new birth and finally loving themselves, not in a relationship? Yeah, I'd say that's a really good reading of it. Rebirth. Yeah, he comes out of the water, so
yes.
It all works that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we already, I already asked you the question into the meeting, but I think it's good for the interview. So why did you choose to put almost all the characters naked?
Yeah. So I think because in the film, how they are in a relationship is a very like kind of physical thing. We thought it was the best way to show that that's a very normal and natural for everyone to do. And we only put clothes on the kind of mythical characters, almost to make them have more authority and to make you understand the character really quickly.
Yes.
Because it's a short film and you have to kind of see the character and you get them straight away.
Yes. So how important was the team in the process? Did you choose it in the first place, or Was it a collaboration?
Yeah. It was a big collaboration. I think in my school people worked differently. I knew some of my team before I started the film, like my writer, I'd worked with her before, and my editor, but everyone else was very new.
Yes.
But it turned out that we thought in a very similar way, and from the beginning, me and my producer organized a lot of stuff before COVID, when it was still possible. We organized a lot of things to include everyone. So every week we had we rented a cinema and we watched a film that was relevant to our film. And we also had script meetings every week or two with everyone, even the composer and sound designer. And they were actually very surprised in the beginning, like, wait, why am I here? But we got some really great feedback from them because they have such a different point of view. And then when COVID happened, we weren't able to keep it going as much, but in the very early development stages for the story, we had the whole team involved, and it was great.
Yes. Was it frustrating to have your idea changed by all the events?
I don't know. I mean, I've definitely in other projects I've had more conflict with writers or something like that. But for this project, everyone seemed to get it right away, and not every single thing that they suggested was exactly what I wanted, but everyone really trusted me, and I really trusted them as well. I think with my editor, right in the beginning, we had the most conflict, but it ended up being really productive. I think editors are supposed to kind of play the devil's advocate a little bit. And so in the beginning I was like, oh, don't you get it? But then it's like, oh no, you get it, it's fine.
Is it your personal view that you need to be happy with yourself in order to be happy in a relationship?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think relationships are great, but I think they're never gonna work if you think the other person is gonna be the answer to everything. I think you are a lot more happy in a relationship when you can be happy with who you are without the other person too. So, yeah.
And what was your inspiration with the style or the type of story?
With the story? Or?
Yes, your inspiration in general.
In general, well, obviously a lot of it was mythology, because I really love mythology and Greek mythology and just all kinds of old ways of explaining the world, especially with Greek, because I find that all the gods and all the stories are so human, and the way they explain like nature even has to do with our own emotions, and I really love that, and there's so much to create, I think, from
yes.
And beyond that, I've always really loved like fantasy and sci-fi, and when I was little, and also maybe still a little bit, I'll kind of like reinterpret my own life experiences with stuff like that, with fantasy and weird worlds, and I don't know. And I just really wanted to make a film that shows that, not just like a fantasy that has romance in it, but a fantasy that it has like love in the center of how the world works.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you for this interview.
Yeah, thank you so much.